What is going on, everyone? This is Adam and Craig with Grandstand Golf, and in this video, we are breaking down our favorite DFS plays for the Safeway Open, as well as our fades of the week. We each picked 3 players, a high player, a mid-range player, and a low player that we like for the Safeway Open. And Craig, start us off. Who do you like?
Okay, so for the high end, I don't like a ton of these people that are expensive. So the one I'm looking at is Sergio Garcia. He comes
Yeah,
in at 9,900, and if you look at his stats, he's actually the top player in the field in strokes gained off the tee. And when I was building our model, strokes gained off the tee was the most predictive stat for scoring at Silverado
right.
in the past 5 years. So Sergio's strongest player in the field in that. He's third in the PGA, so it's not just that it's a weak field, it's also that he's good at it regardless. His recent form, if you have a quick look here, it's not great,
Hmm.
but it's not so bad that there's anything to be concerned about. I think that recent form can be a bit overrated. I think for players
Right.
of certain caliber, so I guess the main thing I look at here is these aren't going to attract ownership because he has had really good results of recent. But I
Right.
think his game is to the level that his stats reflect, and so I'm happy to take the chance on him because of that. I also think that generally Sergio is having a better season this past year than we think. He only has
Right.
12 starts on the PGA Tour and one top 10 in those 12 starts.
Right.
But he was 5 for 6 in on the European Tour in terms of top tens in the past year, including
Right.
he won. It wasn't the strongest tournament that he won last year. I think it was the same weekend, but 3 of his top tens last year were in the strongest fields, so much stronger fields than this tournament. Um, and so, yeah, I really like his DraftKings efficiency here, which means that
For sure.
he's making cuts. He's 10 for 12 in cuts, but he's getting higher finishes, which gets you those bonus points on finishes. And yeah, so I think Sergio's a good bet. He may not pay off, but I think he's one of the ones that has a better chance of winning this tournament or with a high end finish.
Yeah, I like it. Hopefully he found something with his putter over his couple week break there, because I think if he found something there, I think he'll be very good here. My high pick is at $8,900, so not the highest range. He's kind of borderline in the mid range, but he's going to be popular, and I don't really care. That's Cameron Davis, the young Aussie, the long hitting player. He's 20th in driving distance, 4th in going for the green, 23rd in birdie average. These are all stats from last year. I think he's just a young talent. He's won on the Australasia Tour and the Web.com Tour before, so he's a winner. And I think he sets up really well here at the Safeway Open. And I think he can kind of break through to have this as his first PGA Tour win. He fits the profile of previous winners, elite ball striking. He's strong with his putter. He's really good off the tee. I'm locking him in as my pick to win and my one and done pick this week.
Yeah, I like it. I just he seems like the type of player that his trend is his long-term trend is upwards,
Yeah,
and so I want to get in on it before everyone pays attention to it.
for sure. Who do you like in the 8,000s, Craig? Who do you like kind of low mid range here?
So I went down to 8,200, which is just below the average player salary.
Right.
I like Will Gordon. Again, I was looking at this off the tee stat, and um, he is third in the field in strokes gained off the tee, and I believe he's about 14th overall on the tour for 2020.
Right.
He's a young player. He can go low. He had a 62 at the Travelers this year,
Mhm.
where he finished third there in a much stronger field than this. So I think he's the type of player that is on the verge of being able to get a win in a weaker field like this.
Yeah.
He's got 11 starts in the 2020 season, and he had 4 top 25s. So he's doing a pretty good job of getting up into the higher end of the field, not just,
For
making
sure.
cuts. So yeah, I like Will Gordon. I think he's got a good chance of a top 10 or a higher finish.
Well, we were kind of texting earlier, and we both like these guys right beside each other. Mine is actually Mark Hubbard, right below. 8,100. We don't have all the stats on him, but you can see from his DK efficiency there that he is scoring extremely well. Mark Hubbard, I like to go this way, Craig, but he's a local boy. He went to San Jose State University. He was on the Golden State Tour when he was younger and kind of coming up with the game. He proposed to his wife on the 18th green at Pebble Beach. I mean, not exactly where we are.
I was going to say, well, then
still,
I would take him at Pebble Beach.
He's kind of got those California roots, and he's got the deep roots here, and I love that. I like guys who maybe are having more of a home game than others. I think he's looked really well recently, even though his game's not necessarily popping. I think his approach has been very strong. He's not super long off the tee, but he is accurate. He kind of fits a little bit more of the mold of an Adam Hadwin, who did really well here previously at the Safeway Open. Good putter, good approach game. I really like him at $8,100 this week. He's my mid-range guy, Mark Hubbard.
Okay, so I guess into my low-end player, I have Jhonattan Vegas at 70 or 7,000. So the model, our model here loves him because it puts, because of the previous tournaments here, it puts a lot of weight in off the tee, and he is in this field, he's second. So by coincidence, my picks were the top 3 in strokes gained off the tee for 2020 in this field. And I mean, he's good beyond this field too. He's 5th overall on the tour in terms of strokes gained off the tee. He has sort of a middling course history. I don't personally, I don't put too much weight on course history. Because I think it's such a small sample size that there's not a ton you can take from it. But he does have a top 10 amongst there. When it was called the Fries.com Open, I believe, in 2016, he had a top 10. His recent form is not the best, but I don't put too much weight into that, and I think it will discourage ownership.
For sure.
I would not probably take him in a cash game, but I think for if you're entering GPPs and you want a guy who could be a top 10 from lower down, he's one that I like.
Yeah, I like it as well. I'm putting together my showdown article for round 1 for Thursday, which will come out today, and he is highlighted there. I like him as an early starter, as a fast starter, tee to green strong, off the tee strong. I think he's priced too low for this type of field. I agree.
Yeah,
I
think on that note, I think I might like him even more in showdown than over the course of the tournament, because I think he is one of those guys that can go low and not necessarily put the whole tournament together. But I think that if he does have 2 of those low rounds, he could end up with a good finish. Yeah.
So you're going to have to scroll way down to 6,100 here for my low range kind of flyer, sleeper, if you want to call it. I think he might get a little bit of ownership. He's completely neutral in our model because he hasn't played enough professional rounds because he's just coming onto the PGA Tour. And that's Sahith Theegala, very decorated NCAA golfer we talked about yesterday. He won the kind of 3 major awards: the Haskins Award, the Ben Hogan Award, and the Jack Nicklaus Award last year. Just the 5th player ever to do so.
And they don't typically name awards after Jack Nicklaus and Ben Hogan unless they're pretty good awards to win.
Yeah. So those are pretty major awards. Again, he's got the California roots kind of through and through. He's from California, born in California, resides in California, went to school in California. We don't have enough stats, so I kind of did some digging on our own with, I think, the few rounds that he had in professional golf. His green regulations would put him in the top 10 for GIR on the year, so he's strong that way. He's not exactly long off the tee. He averages about 300, but enough to kind of get it done here.
But a good ball striker.
I like him
if he's hitting greens in reg.
Yeah, good ball striker. Talks about getting the feel. He's a big feel player. So maybe he'll go a little bit overlooked. He has a little bit of name recognition with those kind of NCAA awards, but I like him as a flyer here. It's a tournament where we have not the top players in the world playing, and you gotta go a little bit different, leave some salary on the board. So I like him quite a bit here.
Okay, now I think the only other thing we're going to do is we're going to quickly do a quick fade for a couple guys. And what I have chosen as my fade is Jordan Spieth. It gets a little old fading Jordan Spieth because I think most people out there like Jordan Spieth. And that's sort of one of the reasons to fade him is because...
As do we.
Yeah, as do I.
This is a fade for DFS purposes, not for
whether, like if I don't have Spieth in my DFS lineups and he wins, I'm still gonna be stoked.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that his name still attracts so much ownership, especially if someone decides to play on a week like this, because there's not as many names that you know. So you're playing it based on, maybe Jordan Spieth is starting to turn it around. I think he still has ball striking issues that need to be worked out. There's a lot of guys who have smaller lulls in terms of their play quality, and I'm happy to try to be early on them. But I think because Spieth is just in such a prolonged drought that I'm going to have to wait to see some before I really want to sacrifice my DFS tickets playing him.
Yeah, I'm only playing a handful of tickets this weekend. He won't be making my rosters. If I see him on Sunday and he's there, I'll be cheering for him. I agree. So my fade a little bit lower is Brandt Snedeker. Again, kind of name recognition for a tournament that doesn't have as many big names. He's done very well here in the past at the Safeway Open. But his 2020 has just been awful. You can see across the board on the right there with his strokes gained stats. Right off the tee, he hasn't cracked a top 40 since the restart. So I don't know what's going on with this game. He just isn't the tee to green player that he has been previously. And I'm not going to be early on Snedeker. I like to be early on some other players when they're kind of coming through. I'll throw a dart on Vegas for round one showdown, but I'm not going to be early on Snedeker this week. He's priced too high. He's priced on his name. It's going to be a fade for me.
Yeah, I also think one of the things with these, both Spieth and Snedeker, is they have elite histories, and so people think of them still as the golfer they were 5 years ago potentially, and it's not like there's trends that have them where they are now. It's not like where it was with DJ, where he had been playing at such a high level for so long and had a few weeks where it was not right, and then he exploded back onto the scene. So I think both of these fades are more, we believe the trends. We believe that their trends, they've trended down, and until they really start to show that they have the same game that they used to have, it's just not worth going there.
Yeah. So throw up a quick recap here. So, Craig, do you want to kind of quickly recap your picks and fade?
Yeah, so for my expensive pick, I've got Sergio Garcia at 9,900, and in the mid-range, I've got Will Gordon at 8,200, and low-end Jhonattan Vegas at 7,000, and my fade is Jordan Spieth at 9,900. And if I would say there's an overall theme to my picks, it's people who are strong off the tee, and I'm going to throw my darts, and I'll throw my darts with those type of players this week. Yeah,
I love it. I like all of them. Maybe Sergio and Vegas a little bit more in showdown, just because I'm not sure about their kind of 4-day scoring. But yeah, I like it. So mine, high end, Cameron Davis. He's my pick to win. I think he's just talented, and a win is on the horizon. My mid range is Mark Hubbard at 80. My low range is Sahith Theegala, and he's quite a bit lower. I think he's a DFS sleeper. I won't be picking him to win outright or anything like that. And my fade is Brandt Snedeker. All right. Well, if you made it this far, thank you for watching our video. Please like and subscribe to our content. Click the bell to catch our upcoming showdown videos and picks for the US Open, which is happening next week. We broke down, Craig and I, the entire field on our Twitch channel last night, went through the whole model. You can find that on our Twitch channel, Grandstand Golf. Our DFS model, what you see right now, is on our website. So you can click through, you can sort it yourself. You can see who you like for value for 2019, 2020 for both, how they match up with the DK efficiency. That is on our website at grandstandgolf.com. All our articles are posted there as well, our showdown articles and outright selections. And everything we do is pushed out on our Twitter account at Grandstand Golf. Thank you so much for joining us.